been 10 months. 10 months since Joe Biden has done a true press conference, a true one. Because it is a complete disaster. So we're going to break down everything that you need to know from Stumblefest 2022. 2 hours long, but we just got it in minutes for you. That's now on the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely. Hey, make sure to type in your comments, your questions, your answers, and for the chance to win a free shirt from our Let's Go Brandon shop at lgbonlinestore.com, smash that like button. And make sure to share this video. Do it now. Do it now. And you got to be subscribed to the channel. And for the new year, use the promo code JOE at the checkout for 25% off. That's right, 25% off. You get to pick your T-shirts. Pretty cool. Not too bad. All right. Well, which one you want, Pay?
The hoodie.
Oh, you want the hoodie? Yeah, the hoodie's a good one. Okay. So nonetheless, let's move forward. So due to so many failures on so many different fronts, the Biden administration decided that the best way to stop the plummeting poll numbers was to do a live Q&A with some members of the press. If you remember, this is something President Donald J. Trump did on a weekly basis, but nonetheless, we'll take it. Deal. So, a lot of problems out there. Like China, Russia, the border crisis, record inflation, the handling of COVID, and so much more. Let's get into what the commander-in-chief has to say without the crutch of a teleprompter. Spoiler alert, after the press conference, trending on Twitter was #dementia. I know. All right, let's start off with an easy one, okay? The question has to do with schools being open or closed.
Okay.
Most Republicans want schools open, and most of who want them closed or restricted are Democrats and the leftist teachers union. So the question is, since most of America wants the schools open, will this hurt the Dems in the upcoming midterm elections? A simple yes or no answer would be suffice. Let's see how Biden handles this softball.
Could school reopenings or closures become a potent midterm issue for Republicans to win back the suburbs?
Oh, I think it could be, but I hope in God that they're, look.
Today, Junior?
But as time goes on, the voter who is just trying to figure out, as I said, how to take care of their family, put three squares on the table, stay safe, be able to pay their mortgage or their rent, etc., is becoming much more informed on the motives of some of the political players,
yeah, I agree.
Some of the and the political parties, and I think that they are not going to be as susceptible to believing some of the outlandish things that have been said and continue to be said.
The hell did he just say? Like, you understood the question, right? Everyone understood the question,
right?
Okay, schools open or close?
Simple yes and no.
Will this hurt the Dems in the midterms? I don't know what the hell he just said. We just listened to almost 2 minutes. Seriously, what did he say? Someone interpret
it. My brain is dead. I don't know.
He reminds me of the bartender in the Boondock Saints.
Oh, it's been a while. I gotta watch that one. One, he just rambles.
Like he'll start making like a really good point, and then he'll just say something about a tree somewhere or something like that.
Now you leave that bartender alone, man. He was on Fraggle Rock. Leave him alone.
He was. That was who? That was
that bartender.
That was the guy from Fraggle Rock.
Yeah.
Uncle Traveling Matt.
No,
that was an actual Fraggle. All right, all right. But here is Biden. He's taking a question about the filibuster bill that Biden was destroyed, by the way, when 2 Democrats voted with all the Republicans, ultimately preventing our election process turning into socialism. Praise Jesus for states' rights. Well, I want you to count how long it took for a response following the question being asked. All right. So here you go.
Okay.
I'm not editing. None of this is edited, by the way. Okay?
It's not CNN.
Right. This has not been edited. This is just straight from the actual press conference. And here you go. Remember, count after the question's asked.
Caitlin?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I have a question for you, but first, I'd like to follow up on a question from Yamish, and that's on the filibuster.
That counts as a question, but go ahead.
Okay, I'll make it quick. It's a quick question.
It's not funny.
Regarding the filibuster, at John Lewis's funeral, President Barack Obama said he believed the filibuster was a relic of the Jim Crow era. Do you agree?
Yes.
If not, why not abolish it if it's a relic of the Jim Crow era?
Successful electoral politics is the art of the possible.
I got 6 seconds.
Yeah, about 6.5.
Because he was thinking of what to
Let's
say.
figure out how we can get this done.
Okay, so.
Because he was thinking of what to say.
That was a long pause. I got 6 seconds. That's about right. But did you see that, though? He had to read a short statement already written down and then just said that we have to get this done. It's unreal. Like, he got a question, and he just read a statement that was written down. Now, remember, the asking of these questions are mostly activists, okay, that are disguised as reporters and journalists. So, but I'm telling you, again, mostly pre-scripted. So, honestly, I'm not even sure I can call this a true press conference. But nonetheless, let's move on. Let's see how Biden handles a question on election integrity. Can you believe that?
Ruh-roh.
Election integrity. But not concerning 2020. We're talking about, I don't know. In 2020, I mean, half of the country still has questions about some certain things of which still not allowed to discuss on YouTube. Yet, this election integrity is what they're talking about. 2022 midterms and also the 2024 presidential election, because the majority of American states have passed laws to show ID to cast a ballot. So let's see what they say.
Thank you, Mr. President. Speaking of voting rights legislation, if this isn't passed, do you still believe the upcoming election will be fairly conducted and its results will be legitimate?
Well, it all depends on whether or not we're able to make the case to the American people that some of this is being set up to try to alter the outcome of the election.
So he just admitted that elections are rigged.
Well, it all depends, is what he said.
If it needs to be rigged.
Right.
What states?
So it all depends. Which means if the Republicans win, no, the election will not be legitimate. But if the Dems win, yes, of course it's legitimate. Duh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to say that. Okay, I'll correct it.
Here, I mean, they are getting ready for the big red wave coming. Okay, in the midterms. They are. They see the numbers. They know what's going to happen. And they will not blame their loss on woke policies and inept handling of many crisis situations.
Who they going to blame it on?
They will fall back to their go-to, racism.
What?
They lost because of racism.
Racism.
Funny, coming from the Democrats, the party of slavery, Jim Crow, KKK, internment camps of Japanese and Italian Americans, right? And don't forget the crime bill, right? Right, Joe Biden, right? Oh yeah, remember last year when we got a video deleted and a strike on YouTube when we questioned a certain election?
Well, yeah.
Look, all I'm saying is I paid $1.04 for gasoline when Trump was president.
Boy, do I miss it. But anyway, Biden doubled down, okay? And goes onto, I don't know, what is more difficult. How can I say this? He says that it's more difficult for people of color to get an ID and go vote.
What?
That's generally the argument that I've heard.
That sounds racist to me. You're saying that.
And who's saying this?
This is the left. This is the Democrat talking point.
So the vote I did twice doesn't count, right?
No. How'd you do it? I'm surprised.
I do have an ID.
Everybody,
I registered, but what?
Everybody I know got an ID, and everyone I know that don't got one ain't got one for a reason.
Everyone you know is privileged.
Apparently.
Let's see the question.
Well, I think if, in fact, no matter how hard they make it for minorities to vote, I think you're going to see them willing to stand in line and defy the attempt to keep them from being able to vote. I think you're going to see the people we try to keep from being able to showing up and making the sacrifice that needs to be made in order to change the law back to what it should be. But it's going to be difficult. I make no bones about that. It's going to be difficult.
Yes, it's always going to be difficult to try and pass laws so anyone can vote without identification. While you Democrat-ran cities are making restaurants ask for a vaccine ID to enter and eat. Yep, they know they are hypocrites. They
Here's
just
my ID.
don't think that they think you're too dumb to see it. Don't you get that? Same thing. Remember last week we talked about this? Biden went down to Georgia looking for a vote to steal. Compared those in favor of voter ID to the likes of historical racist Democrats. Here's a quick reminder.
Do you want to be on the side of Dr. King or George Wallace? Do you want to be on the side of John Lewis or Bull Connor?
Bull crap.
Do you want to be on the side of Abraham Lincoln or Jefferson Davis?
Hog.
This is the moment to decide.
Don't forget, George Wallace, governor of Alabama, Democrat, wasn't for civil rights. Bull Connor, he was Birmingham, Alabama, another one, not for it. Democrat, by the way. Jefferson Davis, president of the Confederacy, was a senator out of Mississippi, and oh yeah, he was a Democrat too.
Oh, he said John Lewis too.
John Lewis.
Yeah.
John Lewis, who, by the way, voted against George Wallace in the Alabama election.
But look
and he voted for a Republican.
And look what he was now.
Well, yeah.
Till he died.
Yeah, and then he became a congressman, a Democrat. Go figure. But, all right. So, there it was. Just a little reminder. Well, he was asked about this at the press conference. He got triggered. He even got mad and said this.
You know, you campaigned and you ran on a return to civility, and I know that you dispute the characterization that you called folks who would oppose those voting bills as being Bull Connor or George Wallace, but you said that they would be sort of in the same camp.
No, I didn't say that. Look what I said. Go back and read what I said and tell me
what
if you think I called anyone who voted on the side of the position taken by Bull Connor that they were Bull Connor.
Do you want to be on the side of John Lewis or Bull Connor?
And
that is an interesting reading of English. I assume you got into journalism because you like to write.
So did you expect that would work with Senators Manchin or Sinema?
No, here's the thing. There's certain things that are so consequential. You have to speak from your heart as well as your head.
He speaks out of his butt.
Out forcefully on what I think to be at stake. That's what it is. And by the way, no one forgets who was on the side of King or Bull Connor. No one Martin
Luther King Jr. was a Republican, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't teach you that, though. They don't teach you
History books will note it. And when I was making the case, don't think this is a freebie. You don't get to vote this way and then somehow it goes away. This will stick with you the rest of your career and long after you're gone.
Just stick it up your butt.
And Arizona will keep electing Sinema because of her stance. People of West Virginia will keep electing Joe Manchin because of his stance, because they were elected by the people of those states and they represent them. Damn, man. Come on, man. But yep, he said it. Do you think he forgot that he said it?
Yep.
Or is he just straight up lying?
I think they're lying because I've seen plenty of instances where Democrats or the people on the left they'll make a statement and then somebody later will call them out on that's not what I said. And it's like that's exactly what you said. We have the transcript.
We got it all right here, Bay.
It's politics.
Okay. Oh,
yeah. They gonna lie regardless
because they think we're dumb and we don't have the capability of pulling up footage from last week.
Part of it.
Okay.
He should have done that during his press conference.
It's just like when Kamala Harris before the election, she was like how dare we have Donald Trump have these immigration standards? Like people need to come here, and then afterwards, once they get elected, she goes down there. Yeah, anybody who wants to come here, don't.
Technically, she didn't go down there.
No, wherever she was.
She's been down on many other places.
Hey-o!
Heels up Harris, but I think maybe Michael Glaze is right. Maybe he just doesn't even remember.
Could be.
Well, he was asked about his cognitive fitness. I couldn't believe this one. I'm watching. I go, somebody asked it. Wait until you see how Biden responds.
Thank you very much for this honor, James Rosen with Newsmax. I'd like to raise a delicate subject. But with utmost respect for your life accomplishments and the high office you hold. A poll released this morning by Politico Morning Consult found 49% of registered voters disagreeing with the statement, Joe Biden is mentally fit. Wow. Not even a majority of Democrats who responded strongly affirmed that statement.
Well, I'll let you all make the judgment whether they're correct.
Well, so the question I have for you, sir.
Did you hear him try to the judgment? Thank you. Right.
Yeah. Next question.
But listen to the reporter from Newsmax. I can't believe he called on a guy. See, here's the thing. He doesn't even know who these reporters are. He doesn't know this guy is from Newsmax. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, they didn't vet all these people before?
No, and he doesn't know, and we'll get into this a little bit more, because he doesn't hold press conferences. He doesn't know who these people are. But listen, still on the cognitive.
If you'd let me finish. Is why do you suppose such large...
Yeah, again, he tried to not even... The question wasn't even asked yet.
Right.
And Biden's like trying to... Next. But yeah, here, listen.
If you'd let me finish. Is why do you suppose such large segments of the American electorate have come to harbor such profound concerns about your cognitive fitness? Thank you.
Where's my popcorn?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Oh, see?
That was it. I have no idea.
Man, I need to run for president. If I can just get up there and be like, I don't know, next.
Hey, are you mentally fit to run a country? I have no idea.
Next.
The correct answer would be, they are wrong, and I'll take a public cognitive test with you right after this press conference.
No.
I have no idea actually proves damaged cognitive skills. Bay?
No, the correct answer. I'm right here running it now, ain't I?
Right. Okay. Not even the, I have no idea.
Well, sir, there's a reason I'm here and you were there.
You know what I'm saying?
The question triggered him, and this is why he moved on immediately. He can't handle real questions that are not written down for him in his notes. And the fact that this wasn't written down in that notebook that he's holding, the ones who are pulling the strings, I have questions about their cognitive reactions and results. All right, but what about foreign policy? Right?
Idea.
Oh, I have no idea. Yeah, what about foreign policy? Okay, with Russia on the border of Ukraine, look at what could be an invasion, which I do believe some pro-war establishment politicians are begging for war. But what does Biden say when asked if Russia does invade our sovereign ally, Ukraine?
Russia will be held accountable if it invades, and it depends on what it does. It's one thing if it's a minor incursion and then we end up having a fight about what to do and not do, etc. But if they actually do what they're capable of doing with the force amassed on the border, it is going to be a disaster for Russia. My guess is he will move in. He has to do something.
It'll be a disaster for Russia.
He has to move in. He has to do something in regards to Putin. What? And a minor incursion. An invasion is a minor incursion? Okay, so he doesn't invade all of Ukraine, just this section that holds all the oil.
You know what this sounds like?
What?
This sounds like World War II.
Well,
all right, Hitler. Hey, look. You took Poland. Stop there.
No, Poland was the invasion in 1939. It first started because you're right. This does sound familiar.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, let's see. Well, we don't have to go back to World War II under Obama with Crimea. All right. Another one. Don't do it. Don't do it. He did it. Okay, fine. All right. But then, yeah. Hey, Hitler. Sure. You know what? Just Austria. And that's it. Okay? All right. Czech Republic. Fine. All right. But that's it. That's it. Wait. Oh, Albania? Okay. Oh, you want Albania as well? All right. And then, hey, don't blitzkrieg into Poland. Don't you do it. Stop it. Stop. Damn it, Adolf. All right. Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, but that's exactly what it sounds like is happening here.
It's appeasement.
It's kind of funny. It was done by 3 Democrats.
And here's the thing. I mean, with China, with the same scenario, and over at Taiwan right now, I mean,
North Korea can't wait.
I mean, do you not think that Putin was not watching this and spitting out his vodka laughing? Right?
Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's not funny, man.
Strong like bullshit. Yeah. Biden is not doing well. And even the left-leaning pollster, Quinnipiac, has him at an abysmal 33% approval rate. So Biden was asked about what he thought about his first year in the Oval Office. Aside from the 95 days, 27% of it on vacation in Delaware.
Can I guess
Most
what his,
ever? Yes.
What his response is going to be? I have no idea.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Next. Let's take a look.
I'm happy to take questions. Yes.
Again, notice when he doesn't have his sheet and doesn't know any of the reporters, not their names, who they worked for. This is what happens when you dodge open press conferences for 100 days. Just say.
Oh, crap, we're on that question. Dang it.
Yes. But notice he mentions people's names when he has it written down in front of him.
Yep.
Right. Has someone's names, says it, and then looks around to hear, over here, sir. Right. But watch what happens.
Thank you, Mr. President. I know some of my colleagues will get into some specific issues, but I wanted to zoom out on your first year in office. Inflation is up. Your signature domestic legislation is stalled in Congress. In a few hours from now, the Senate, an effort in the Senate to deal with voting rights and voting reform legislation is going to fail. COVID-19 is still taking the lives of 1,500 Americans every day. And the nation's divisions are just as raw as they were a year ago. Did you overpromise to the American public what you could achieve in your first year in office? And how do you plan to course correct going forward?
Why are you such an optimist? Look,
it's not funny.
I didn't overpromise, but I have probably outperformed what anybody thought would happen.
He
outperformed.
He performed.
Outperformed.
He didn't outperform, but
Bait. He outperformed expectations.
Yeah, because remember, y'all said he was going to be out of the office by November.
You know what? Bay's right.
That's fair.
That's right.
That's fair. I'll give that to you,
Bay. He made it this far.
But
outperformed the Afghanistan travesty, record inflation, and
84 billion.
And weapons over there.
And it's kind of funny who got American weapons right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Taliban, Iran, and China. Right? Don't ever school me on gun rights when you gave $85 billion to the Afghanistan and guns.
No.
But yeah, record inflation and prices affecting every American. Unconstitutional mandates outperformed.
Yeah.
Crime and murder rates at all-time highs in our cities. China and Russia, as mentioned. The southern border crisis. Fentanyl. Boom, coming in. the handling of COVID, defying gravity and actually falling up a flight of steps, outperformed, saying and agreeing with Let's Go Brandon on live TV.
That was funny.
Outperformed.
That was funny.
He keeps saying pay wages are up, right? Sure, for some. But if wages increase 1.5%, but inflation and the cost of everything increased well above 7%, that means you still can't afford simple things to go buy. Do the math, Joe. We the people are losing money. All right. Back to the press conference here, all right? Quote, unquote. So Biden didn't take a question from Fox News and even tried to end it before the most watched cable news station ever could ask a question. So when they figured out he was trying to wrap it up by looking at the watch, you know how he does that? Remember the funeral of our 13 dead service members?
Yep. I remember that.
Yeah, outperformed. Well, they spoke up, and they asked about the division in this country, which could be the most important topic of all. Here is Peter Doocy of Fox News finally getting the microphone.
Yes.
How many more hours am I doing this? I'm happy to stick around.
Look at that crap eating boy.
You always ask me the nicest questions.
No, nobody asks you questions. Right. Because you don't do press conferences, but let's continue.
I know you do.
All right.
None of them make a lot of sense to me, but I...
Says the kettle.
Well, let's try.
Fire away. Come on.
A new year. Why are you trying so hard in your first year to pull the country so far to the left?
Well, I'm not. I don't know what you consider to be too far to the left. If, in fact, we're talking about making sure that we had the money for COVID, making sure we had the money to put together the bipartisan infrastructure, making sure we were able to provide for those things that, in fact, would significantly reduce the burden on working class people, but make them, they have to continue to work hard. I don't know how that is pointed to the left. If you may recall, you guys have been trying to convince me that I am...
Real quick, whisper alert. This is the position he gets into when he's getting ready to whisper. Okay? You know the weird whisper thing he does?
Yes.
Yeah.
Brace yourselves.
Here it comes. He's getting ready.
Bernie Sanders. I'm not. I like him, but I'm not Bernie Sanders. I'm not a socialist. I'm a mainstream Democrat, and I have been. And mainstream Democrats have overwhelmed. If you notice, the 48 of the 50 Democrats supported me in the Senate on virtually everything I've asked.
What he said Republican?
Because he doesn't know what he's saying, Bang. Well, the whisperer-in-chief is back. And a moderate Democrat, really, Biden? A moderate Democrat that attempted to get $500,000 in the hands of each illegal immigrant and grant them all amnesty. After breaking our laws on day one, a moderate Democrat, really? Moderate Democrat that tried to give the federal government the ability to force businesses to employ only people who have gotten an irreversible medical procedure for something that has a 99.7% survival rate. A moderate Democrat, really? One that just tried to spend $5 trillion of American taxpayers' money that would have shut down our energy sector and give priority to foreign nations. Really? Moderate Democrat that had the FBI investigate moms showing up to school board meetings. How moderate of you. Moderate Democrat that just attempted and failed to remove the system in which amendments are made to the Constitution of the United States. Moderate. It's bullshit. Wake up, Joe Biden. Wake up.
He
Joe
can't.
Biden, wake up.
He can't.
Your Democrat Party left you a long time ago. And that party is now so pro-socialism. But we all know this, including you, Joe Biden. Why do you think he didn't allow Doocy to follow up and bring up the same things? Because he knows. He just moved on. But overall, and as expected, I found the questions to be a bit disappointing. Nothing asked about the southern border during this time. 2 hours. You couldn't, not one reporter, quote unquote reporter, could ask, hey, 2 million illegals came in 2021. Comment? Nothing about that. Nothing about the fentanyl pouring in. Which, by the way, do you know this? Fentanyl is now the leading cause of death in America for ages 18 to 49.
Really?
Number one.
Wow.
Nothing asked about it. Not one question about the record high crime and murders in the 16 Democrat-ran cities. Not one question. No questions asked about actual education courses, CRT, and indoctrination of American children led by leftist teachers union. Not one question. So again, 2 hours, you reporters, members of the media, you don't have the balls to ask? Man. Now we know why. 10 months.
Except for 2.
Well, yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. 10 months since Joe Biden has done a true press conference. Because it's a complete disaster. No wonder why only 1 in 3 Americans approve of this guy. My question to them is, what do they actually approve of? Socialism? If so, just say it out loud. If you're for it, why are you so afraid to say it publicly? You got no balls. Even the ones who identify as having balls, you don't have any.
Or they just don't like Trump.
Could be.
Yeah, most likely.
So what is? I don't like Trump. I don't like a guy who goes on Twitter and says bad things. But I'd rather have socialism than that.
That's what people do.
Yep.
Talk about apples and oranges.
Oranges, yes. Orange man bad. What are your thoughts on it all? Type in those comments. Smash the like button. Definitely help us out by sharing this video. Subscribe to the channel.
Well, I would say, this is exactly why the Revolutionary War had needed to happen, because people like this one man should not be in charge of an entire nation.
No.
We needed to build a framework for a country where one person doesn't make all the decisions.
Absolutely. And again, it is the states that created the federal government, not the other way around.
Correct.
Stop forgetting that. Or read a book called The Constitution.
Could they read?
All right. Hey, we'll get to the comments in a bit. Normally we got a broad in here reading the comments, but just not today. No, that's me being. That's a joke. I'm not sexist. I grew up with 3 sisters. I was sexist once. My father beat me up for it. So, it's the truth.